Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Empathy Awards and an empathy sharing moments for Empathy Day. I'm joined by Mrs. Minney. Hello there.
Hi.
This is Minney from Clwyd Primary and Mrs. Carroll from Pentrehafod.
Hi, hope you're enjoying Empathy Day.
Well, it's been very, very busy across the cluster. There is so much work to talk about. We've got a very important job to do this afternoon because we are going to be sharing the winners of both the Empathy Awards and the Empathies. Now, for those of you at home will know that the Empathy Awards, if you're one of the primary schools in the Pentrehafod cluster, then you've been voting on the Empathy Awards all week. And if you're at Pentrehafod, you've been taking part in the Empathies as well. And then on top of that, loads and loads of things happening across the cluster. How is Mrs. Minney and Mrs. Carroll, how has your Empathy Day been so far?
Fantastic. We've got loads of poetry, loads of goggles and activities coming in, and the children and the families seem to be really on board. It's fantastic.
How about Pentrehafod?
Yes, we're having a fantastic day. Lots of tweets, lots of images being shared. And we've also had our head girl launch Empathy Day this morning, and we were very proud of her speech.
Well, talking of the work that's been going on, I'm using the magic of technology. I'm going to share my screen now. Now, when you see this broadcast start in a second, what you'll get all of the amazing work that we have seen across the cluster over the last few hours. Ever since 9:30 this morning when Cresta Cow launched Empathy Day, there's been a whole load of stuff going on across the cluster. And you can see, I mean, just looking at some of these, we've got some empathy resolution posters. I can see some Elmo work there. Lots of different pupils holding up their Read for Empathy signs. Some brilliant, I can see Super Potato. Super Potato has been taking part in Empathy Day. Was that a birthday cake? What have we got next?
Well,
Minney, you recognise some of these people.
Yes, these are our Clwyd children. So we've got a range of activities there, going from nursery right up into year 6. We've got some fantastic empathy posters there. The children have loved making the activities, downloading them from the family packs and doing them at home. They've been sending them in just sort of all of last week and Monday and Tuesday of this week. They've been sending them to all their teachers, and we've been tweeting them out like mad. So we're really, really proud at Clwyd.
It is. I mean, there's so much work. I mean, just seeing here, we've got even more work coming in. We've got hearts with brilliant emotional vocabulary on them. We've got some more empathy glasses, more people posing with posters. And then moving on from Pentrehafod, we had some bits here, Mrs. Carroll.
Yes, we've had some work in from our students using some of the Empathy Toolkit resources. One of our students from the Special Teacher Facility has also created this wonderful newsletter for us. It's an information sheet about what he believes empathy is. We've also had other posters in that I've tweeted and are going to be part of our newsletter in Pentrehafod at the end of this week.
It's just, I mean, there are, when we asked for work to come in, there are pages and pages. I think at Pentrehafod, they're possibly doing something to do with sloths at the moment because there were a lot of those coming in. And then just moving along, I mean, what can we see here? There's more glasses. I can see an acrostic there. Teachers, how much do you love acrostic poems?
Oh, 100%.
You can't get enough of acrostics.
No, love those.
More empathy glasses, really colourful rainbow work there as well. I love this collage, this sort of cut out collage of empathy letters. And then what else we got there? We got looks like an elephant that's been recycled from other things.
That's Elma.
That's Elma indeed. Well, Elma seems to be popping up all over the place, and so many different people reading. How nice is it to see people just reading for fun?
I think it's been really nice to see all the parents in the photos as well. I've had lots of sort of family photos coming back in, and they're all wearing their empathy goggles and they're all participating. So I've got to say that's been really enjoyable to see all that coming in.
And it is, and it's across the cluster as well. I mean, we've got, I know these are pictures of Plasmile here, but we've had people from Wen and Grossith and Hafod and Pentrehafod, Belice, but Clwyd, the lot, everybody all coming together. And of course from Pentrehafod as well. Oh, now I've moved on there. I think I gave a little bit of a special extra to what's coming next. I'm just going to share my screen. I should be back now. Hello. Now we've of course been doing the Empathy Awards over the last week or so, and also the Empathies. Now for those people at home, slightly different between primary and secondary. Mrs. Minney, do you want to just explain sort of how we went about getting all the nominations together for the Empathy Awards?
Yeah, well, we used a Microsoft form. So we sort of sent that out to all of our children. Our teachers sent it out through Dojo, and we also tweeted it. So we sent it home to all the children and their families to have a little look at what character that they have experienced in any book that they've read that has showed the most empathy skills towards other characters in the plot. So what they did is they voted, they gave their explanation on the Microsoft form, which was then forwarded to you, Paul, and collated. And obviously that's how we ended up with our shortlist. We then sent the shortlist form out to the children. And of course, then they've been voting for their top 3 over the last couple of days.
Brilliant. And the Empathy is working slightly different at Pentrehafod because we haven't got a big cluster of schools. We've got one big school for people. And I think it was year 7 and 8 that were involved, Mrs. Carroll, is that right?
Year 7 were involved, and the competition was set by the English teachers. And they asked them to identify a character from a book they'd read that had shown empathy, and then persuade the teacher why they should win the award. So we had lots of entries across year 7, and the teachers of each of the classes then shortlisted, and the shortlist was put on our website with a form for the staff and students to vote for the entry that they thought should win.
Wow. Right. Well, it sounds like it's been a big thing, and I can tell you from collating all of the work, we had over 75 nominations for the Empathy Awards, and then just short of 100 votes in there. And did you say how many nominations did you say you had at Pentrehafod?
We had just under 40 entries, and then we had 38 votes in from year 7, which was brilliant. Really, really pleased.
Brilliant, which means that everyone's starting to really look at all the stuff. So we're going to now go back to this wonderful sharing screen because, Mrs. Minney, would you like to go through the top 3 of books that made it through in the Empathy Awards?
Okay.
So here we go. Number 3 is?
So 3rd place, we have our reliable Elmer. He is 3rd place in our Empathy Awards.
Fantastic. And in second?
In second place, we have The Giant. So very popular book, but obviously not our winner this year.
Yes, poor old George. He may be the smartest giant in town, but he's not taking home the crown this year because the winner of the Empathy Awards, I feel like I need a drum roll.
Yeah.
Hear that home.
And the winner
in first place was?
And it was Miss Honey, of course, our very caring, kind and empathetic primary school teacher.
Excellent, which proves that teachers are the best and that teachers win lots and lots of awards.
And of course, the children have voted here, so of course, teachers are obviously the winners there.
Well, congratulations to Miss Honey, and it is, of course, it's one of my favourite books. I'll show you my copy of Matilda in a moment. I dug it out especially for this afternoon. Right, Mrs. Carroll, do you want to take us through the results for the Empathies in 3rd place?
In 3rd place was Jensen Thomas from 7-9, and he has chosen Summer from the book Wonder they've been reading in class. Summer has looked past the deformity and she sees the person as they are, truly, and she shows loyalty and compassion. In 2nd place, we have Madison Lloyd from 7-2, and she has picked as her most empathetic character, Pippa from A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Pippa is selfless, strong and brave to help Sal. So that's why she's voted her to win the Empathy Award. But the winner was...
Drum roll.
In first place, it was Anaya Ahmed from 7-4. And she has chosen Jack as her most empathetic character because he's big-hearted and friendly and shows kindness towards August. So this was a very persuasive entry and has won our first place.
Well, congratulations to everybody who voted or nominated on the Empathy Awards this year, or on the Empathies. I'm going to come away from that. I keep sharing that. I don't want to share that. I want to disappear. There we go. Getting used to doing all this technology stuff that we didn't know about before. Here we go. We're all back. And it's really nice to be able to sort of pass on those those winners now. I think everyone's just put a lot of effort and work into making sure Empathy Day's been a success. I just want to say, just before we disappear, that there's actually loads more still happening as well. Our transition charter has been launched all the way through the day. Mrs. Carroll, what is the transition charter? Where's that come from?
Well, this is the students' idea from across the cluster, and since October, pupils from year 6, the student councils in the primary, and then pupils from our student parliament have been meeting on a monthly basis, and they've been looking at ways to make transition from primary to secondary as empathetic as possible. And they've created this charter that is a standard now that we're going to work towards, to ensure that all pupils and all staff, everyone in our community, feels safe and feels as if they belong. Belonging is our theme across the cluster, and this is what we're aiming with the charter.
And that, Mrs. Minney, is just so important. You teach year 6, don't you? And you know about how worrying that time can be for people going from primary up to secondary.
Well, I think all the work that year 6s do with Pentrehafod within the cluster is fantastic. And I think empathy is just added to that. So any transition work that we do, I think the children have really used those empathetic skills to put themselves in other people's shoes and how other people may feel in their transition time.
And it's been just lovely to see. It's been an absolute pleasure from my point of view to be able to see all of the work coming in. And it's still, even my phone's been pinging all the way through because there's more things happening, people tweeting things online. If you check out the hashtag EmpathyDay online, you will see bundles and bundles of work. We only showed you a little snapshot of it this afternoon. All that remains for me to say is thank you very much to Mrs. Minney and Mrs. Carroll. She'll see you very soon. And to everybody at home, still stay tuned to the EmpathyLab channel. All the stuff you may have missed during the day. Atanuke doing her readings, Stephen Camden sharing his work, all of the things with Mallory Blackman and Cressida Cowell and all of the great authors that have been involved today. Check out all of the EmpathyLab channels and you'll be able to see them soon. Right, we'll see you all very, very soon.
Bye, Paul. Bye. Bye. Bye.